Hello everybody, this is General Snivy and welcome back to more Let's Play Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. Today we're going to attempt to fight the optional bosses again. And this time we are going to freaking win. And oh boy. These optional bosses really gave me a run for my money. Well, some of them did, others, not so much. At least, when I first fought them back when I was, like, around level 60, these guys really slapped me across the face and sent me flying a couple of football fields. But, after all the level grinding that I've done, and trust me, I did a ton of it, which you will see soon enough how much I've done as far as grinding is concerned. Oh boy, can't wait for that, that's for sure. Well, here's a funny story. This is actually a second recording attempt at recording this commentary. And if you couldn't tell, this is going to be post-commentary as opposed to live commentary like it has been for the past few videos. The reason as to why, well, there's a couple of reasons. Well, one of them I don't want to get into because, quite frankly, it's none of your business. The second reason is because when I got around to being able to play Kingdom Hearts Final Mix again, it was pretty dang late at night, like around 8:30, 9 o'clock. And well, when I finally got a chance to record again, that was around the time that I managed to be able to record anything whatsoever, so go me. Hooray for time management. What can I say, I'm a very busy guy, and I've been very busy during the day, so that's why the remaining optional boss fights are going to be done in post-commentary. However, the finale of this game, which will be happening very, very soon, that one's going to be done in live commentary, and I'm going to send this game off in style. You want to see flying? Well, there you go. We're flying, and then we're going to be falling with style. Yeah, to infinity and freaking beyond. Alright, on to this boss fight. As you can see, we are fighting the Phantom again. And speaking of optional boss structuring, with the exception of this one, I decided to show off my first attempt on all of them, like I said, with the exception of this one, because we've seen so many freaking attempts of fighting the Phantom and also the optional boss back in Agrabah enough times during my live commentary sections, or more or less the past few videos. So that's a thing. As for the Phantom himself, what can I say about him? He's very fast, very evasive, and he's very selective of what you can hit him with. And the strategy I have when it comes to fighting the Phantom is load up on ethers. Give Sora as many Mega Ethers as possible if you happen to have any up your arsenal, because trust me, you will be needing them. Also, do not be afraid to give Goofy and Peter Pan Ethers either. And make sure Goofy has MP Gift, that way he'll save as many Ethers as possible. But at the end of this boss fight, I came to find out that Goofy used up all the Ethers I gave him. After my huge freaking grinding session, it took me... it only took me about 2 or 3 attempts to fight the Phantom again. First time I fought him, well, things kind of went south. The second time, I think this is my second attempt since my... Actually, yeah, I think it only took me 2 attempts to fight the Phantom before I managed to beat him after my massive level grinding session. So, back when I was saying, first attempt, I ran out of ethers. Or at least out of ethers that I had equipped for Sora. and there was no way I could restore my MP to anyone, not even Goofy, so I was kind of SOL, and I was screwed at that point. So as far as strategies are concerned, look at the orb that is underneath of the Phantom. If the orb is white, that means attack him physically. If it's red, cast fire and pray to God that you hit him. If it's blue, then cast Blizzard. And finally, the final color of which the Phantom will reveal when it comes to its orb is yellow. If it's yellow, then cast Thunder. Any variant of Fire, Blizzard, or Thunder will work. So even if you don't have the maximum power for either one, for any of those spells, you should be okay. Just again, be sure you're strong enough to take some hits, and having Arioga definitely helps tremendously. One other thing I haven't mentioned yet is that this Phantom, I had to fight him during my level grinding session. Well, kind of, in order to make a certain item appear more frequently, or more or less help me attain a certain item. And that item I'm talking about is Serenity Power. In order to get Serenity Power, I had to fight a certain enemy back in Deep Jungle. And getting that particular item, which is, like I said, Serenity Power, is a massive pain in the ass. But I'll go more into that another time. Well, more or less, I will probably go more into it within part 63. Which will be the finale video for this Let's Play, believe it or not. Literally, it's just this video and one more video, and then finally the finale. Then, this Let's Play will be done and over with. Here's a fun fact for you, and I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but I'm recording part 61 and 62 after part 63. I know, that sounds like something out of, how do I describe it? I know it sounds really, really weird, and to tell the truth it kinda is, but I wanted to finish the game as soon as I possibly could, and when I had the chance, I went ahead and took it. So with that, that's essentially why I've decided to record the commentary for part 61 and 62. After part 63. There is one other thing that I haven't mentioned yet, is when it comes to the Phantom, you could whack him even if you don't have the proper magic spell to hit him with, but it won't hardly do any damage whatsoever, so it's essentially trying to have an electric type Pokemon fight a rock type Pokemon without any sort of assistance from the environment whatsoever. It's just plain suicide. You just don't do it. But either way, this battle is pretty much done. Just a single whack and boom, Phantom is no more. Yeah, man, oh man, the freaking Phantom was a freaking pain. But let me tell you something, he was not, I repeat, not the hardest optional boss out of all of them. In my honest opinion, the hardest optional boss has to go to Sephiroth. And for our reward, we obtained the final stop upgrade, Stopka. So that is freaking sweet. And with that, we are out of here. Also, we get a trophy for our troubles too. The Cloaked Shadow. And that trophy you get just by simply defeating the Phantom. The trophy itself is a bronze trophy, which I feel like isn't right. I feel like, my honest opinion, it should be at least a silver trophy, but better than not having a trophy at all. That's why I always have to say. Now it is time for the next set of challenges, which both take place here within the Olympus Coliseum. One of these challenges will be done within this video. And also, one other thing I haven't mentioned yet is, yeah, I know I'm repeating a cutscene which we've already seen during the live commentary portion, which was in the previous video or two. I honestly don't remember when I last fought Sephiroth. It's been quite a while. Like several weeks to be exact. Oh boy, but Sephiroth definitely has not gotten any easier, even with my extensive level grinding, and also obtaining new equipment and new weapons. Okay, let's go, Sephiroth. Even though this isn't live, I really don't freaking care. Like I said, I'm showing the first attempt, and even if I win or fail, I will show the successful one thereafter, if applicable. As for Sephiroth himself, I don't know if I talked about Sephiroth very much during my live commentary portion of this, probably because I didn't survive long enough to really get a chance to talk about Sephiroth. Sephiroth takes a hell of a lot of wax in order to even start draining his health. I mean, look at me. Look at how much stronger I've become, and now I'm just starting to do damage to him. I'm starting to drain his health. That's just how freaking powerful Sephiroth is. He also has a very high damage output, so having Arioga is almost a necessity in order to even have a chance to survive. And survive any of his attacks whatsoever. To tell the truth, even with my powered up state, Sephiroth can still take out like a quarter of my health with just a single strike without Arioga protecting me. And with it, he still takes about 1/8, which is pretty dang massive. I mean, hello, he is like one of the most powerful enemies in the game. In fact, I think he is the most powerful enemy in the game. Now here's something else that I need to talk about. That spell right there, that essentially spells your doom. What happens is, Sephiroth will teleport at a distance away from you and try to cast a certain spell. What's the name of the spell? I have no idea, but here are its effects. It drops your HP down to 1 and drains all your MP, so it leaves you with no chance to heal whatsoever. And if you do manage to heal, you have to be sure to use an item to even do so. In order to counter the spell, you have to rush your freaking balls off to him before he manages to cast the spell. And let me tell you something, it takes about 2 seconds for Sephiroth to cast the spell, which is insanely fast, because sometimes Sephiroth will have a tendency to teleport across the arena away from you, and you will have no chance to even get to him in time. So if that happens to you, well then you're kinda SOL at that point, unless you have an item with you and you're able to throw it in time. And I had to come up with not necessarily a new strategy in order to fight Sephiroth, because whacking him repeatedly does work, but you kind of have to wait for an opening. And also, during this attempt, I unequipped guard and equipped dodge roll, because guard cannot guard against any of Sephiroth's attacks whatsoever, so it's better to just roll, and just keep on rolling. I also equipped Sonic Blade. I figured that attack could help me at least a little bit. I don't even remember using it that much at all during this fight, but I did use it during some of the previous attempts. And really, Sonic Blade, it does act like Strike Raid, meaning it gives you the invincibility while you're using it. However, its only drawback is that it's close range and close range only. So it kind of acts like a shotgun in a sense, but at the same time, still very, very iffy, if that. I mean, it'll work when it comes to other enemies, just Sephiroth, not so much. He is a very unique beast altogether. One other thing I haven't mentioned about Sephiroth yet is that once you drain the pink HP bar and reveal the yellow HP bar, Sephiroth's gonna be like, "Come at me, bro." And he'll start getting serious and unleashing all kinds of hell at you. And that includes that potential one-hit kill move. This is another annoying move. When he goes into this sort of state, he will attack you relentlessly. And one other thing, afterwards, he will start to cast that one-hit kill spell, essentially. I don't know if it only leaves you with 1 HP if you have Second Chance equipped, or if it kills you if you don't have it equipped. That was something I did not want to find out. So I've kept Second Chance on, and I never took it off. Another move that was very useful and really saved me several times over is Leaf Bracer, which was a move of which I was not able to equip for the longest time. And what that move does, it essentially makes you invincible so long as you're casting the Cure spell on yourself. However, any other time, then you're not invincible. So with Leaf Bracer, I was able to withstand some of Sephiroth's most powerful attacks just by healing myself. What can I say? Exploiting the system works. Although I don't necessarily quote-unquote exploit it to the greatest of degrees, but either way, Sephiroth is a freaking beast, and he will smack you into next Tuesday if you are not careful. Now at this point, once you reveal the green bar, Sephiroth essentially goes Super Saiyan and goes absolutely apeshit all over your ass. And all I really have to say about that is just keep rolling, trying to keep dodging as much as possible, and go on the offensive whenever you can. Also try to keep some MP in reserve. Don't be afraid to heal and heal often either. I know that sounds counterproductive, but trust me. Oh, and another move that's really useful is MP Rage, and another MP restoring move whose name I can't remember off the top of my head. Either way, those particular moves, when working in combination with what I already have, excuse me, also helped me tremendously when trying to restore my MP and also keep it intact in a sense. So what this means, every time I get hit by Sephiroth, I'll regain a chunk of my MP. One other thing I want to mention too, don't be afraid to use elixirs, especially if Sephiroth teleports to the other side of the arena while trying to execute that one-hit kill move on you. Like, if you know you're not going to make it to Sephiroth in time and stop his spell from casting, then don't be afraid to use an elixir. Just pray to God you don't lose the fight, because elixirs are very, very hard to come by. Trust me. They really, really are hard to come by. One of the hardest items to acquire within this game. If not, no. Yeah, it is one of the hardest items in the game to get. And I'm not talking about synthesis items either. I'm talking about just regular old-fashioned healing items. Wish you could just buy these things, but nope. That's not how it works. As unfortunate as it may seem, that's just the way things are. There is one other thing I could mention. Or is there? Well, I don't know, but either way, Sephiroth is finally down for the freaking count. And holy hell was he hard. And rightfully so. I figured I'd try to knock out the harder of the two matches that are within the Olympus Coliseum first. and that was Sephiroth. The reason for that is because I like knocking out the hard things first, because it's fun. And with that, we attain the Final Mix exclusive weapon, One-Winged Angel, in Ansys Report number 12. Speaking of which, we get a trophy named One-Winged Angel as well. Again, it's bronze. I feel like that should be silver at the very least, but that is just me. And man, oh freaking man, that was absolutely insane. As for One-Winged Angel, it has little power but sometimes deals extremely powerful critical blows, reduces max MP by 2. And under the Keyblade category, it's only an 8, which is really sad if you ask me. But whatever. Whatever. That's just the way the cookie crumbles, I guess. Now at this point, I'm pretty much preparing for the next couple of fights, and this video is over, pretty much, within the next 50 seconds. This is, actually no, less than that, like about 15. This is General Snivy, Let's Play Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please remember to leave a like. Next time, the remaining optional bosses. See you all then.